There are so many coffee shops. They say thank you for everything, they say cheers for everything. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, you're welcome. Anyways, today's video guys is going to be such an interesting one. My name is Gbemi Olatunji and I make videos about lifestyle and my profession, which is biomedical science, and any other health related profession. I try to drop tips here and there. I recently moved to the United Kingdom about 2 weeks ago. Sorry, about 2 months ago, and I currently live, that means I currently live in the United Kingdom, okay? And I am Nigerian, so I am a Nigerian living in the United Kingdom. I'm going to be talking about culture shocks. So when I mean culture shocks, like things that kind of shocked me when I moved here. So things that they do in this country, like that's kind of different from where I come from Nigeria, from Africa. So most of them are quite nice. So I'm just going to be talking about 5 culture shocks in the United Kingdom. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Please, if you've not subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button. The best subscribe button to subscribe is free. And yeah, let's get into the video. First culture shock I am going to be talking about is the queue for everything here. And it's not as if we don't queue back in Africa. Yes, we queue. I mean, if you go to the ATM, if you go to the bank, you see queues. It's just that our own queue is kind of different from this, because our queue might be like, you can see 3 lines leading to one place. It's not organized, you get. So maybe someone is here, someone will be like, I was here before, I just stepped out. Stuff like that. We don't really have stuff like that here. So a queue is literally a queue. In Nigeria, if you're on a queue, someone can just come to you, oh please, I'm rushing somewhere, can you help me? Can I come to your front? Someone could say, like an older person, like an elderly person would just expect that because they're elderly, you should like give way for them. It also happens in Nigeria, stuff like that. But over here, it's so different. A queue is a queue, and nobody does anything like trying to. Everybody's just organized, so they follow the queue. So if you're trying to enter the bus is the bus. Like the queue is the queue. Like, and in Nigeria, there's another thing we do. Like, okay, if you know, let me say you're trying to get on the bus. So if you know the bus driver, you kind of sit down with the bus driver, and the bus driver would allow you to pass before other people. Stuff like that. It's not done here. And I'm going to give a story of the first time, like my first few weeks here. So I was trying to get on a bus, and I didn't know it was a queue, because the queue wasn't like how normal people stand in front of a queue. So they were standing this way and we're trying to enter the bus. I did not know it was a queue, and then I came in and I hopped on the bus. And then while I was on the bus, a white man with his wife came to meet me, like, that's not nice, why did I hop on the bus, that they were here before me, they've been waiting, And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I did not know that it was a queue. And they were like, no, don't say you're sorry now, because when you was doing it, you wasn't sorry. So since that day, like, I'm always very cautious before I like enter a bus. I'll make sure that nobody was there before me before I enter. So I like the fact that the queue, and because the queue is so organized, we tend to not spend as much time as if it was disorganized and everybody's trying to enter at once. Trust me, you're going to spend a lot of time. But here, the queue is organized, and before you know it, the queue is just moving forward, and it's your turn. So yeah, another point is that people over here, they're really polite. So they say, you get down from the bus driver is going to tell you thanks, they'll tell you cheers, you say it. You're trying to get something at the store, the customer, the retail assistant, the store assistant is receiving you with a smile on his or her face, and like, you're right, are you alright? Like, they're asking if you're fine. You get, like, they're quite really polite. So sometimes it's good, it's really nice, and sometimes I've found myself like doing some of all those things now. But then I would say the downside of it is that they will be politely telling you, or polite, like even when they want to tell you something bad, they're going to be politely doing that. So there was a time I had a class and some people were coming late for the class. The lecturer was just smiling. I was like, I'm sorry, you can come in now, like it's too late, it's too disruptive and stuff like that. And she was smiling. She was like, thank you, don't worry, you're going to catch up in the next class. She was smiling. And when they left, she was like, yeah, even if you want to send them out, you have to smile and you have to make them feel good. So yeah, that's one thing about the Brits. They're quite really polite. They say thank you for everything, they say cheers for everything, they ask you, are you alright? They smile. Another culture shock is the way they sell coffee and tea. I know it's because the weather is quite cold here, and you know, just like how we kind of take ice cream back home, I think but here, like, they take tea and coffee a lot, that there are so many coffee shops. Like, you can see 5 different coffee shops, different brands. We have Starbucks, we have Costa, we have some that are not that popular. So there are so many coffee shops, tea shops. But like, from where I'm coming from, like, people don't buy tea, because even the few places I've seen them buying teas, selling teas, like in parks, so like in car parks, and you won't be scared of buying those kind of tea because you don't know if the kind of water they used and stuff might even be looking dirty. But like here, coffee is a thing, tea is a thing. Like, you get your tea, people drink tea a lot, yeah. So that was like a culture shock, because I wasn't expecting the number of tea and coffee shops that I saw around. Next culture shock is that I feel like things are too routinely done here, yeah. So things are too routinely done, if you get what I mean. Like, things are organized, so organized that rules are not broken. So if the bus is to leave at, let's say, 2:30, and you are just getting to the bus stop, like the bus passed you, if you were not at the bus stop at that time, even if you're seeing the bus going, you cannot stop the bus. But like in Nigeria, like, you can just shout, I'm coming, and run or something, and then if they see you, they'll wait. But here, like, if you miss your bus, you miss your bus. You have to wait for the next probably 5 minutes or 10 minutes, depending on how long how frequent the bus passes. So it's not like flexible where you can just, like, maybe you miss this bus, you just wait for the next bus, like another bus is right at the back. Sometimes it's not like that. You have to wait for maybe 5 minutes or 3 minutes. And sometimes it's so painful to actually see that you're missing the bus, because they didn't see you at the bus stop as I did, even if you were just like almost at the bus stop, yeah. So that's like routine. Also, another thing I noticed, another culture shock, is that still on this routine, is that sometimes the delivery people, they don't call you. So if you ordered something or someone is trying to send something to you from, this happens more if you're using like post office or royal mail. So they will just get to your house and they will send you a message that they didn't no, they won't send you a message. That's if you're only trying to track it. They don't even call, they don't send text messages. So you will just see that they dropped a leaflet that, okay, they didn't see you at the gate. So sometimes I'm like, am I supposed to be standing at the gate? You know how in Nigeria you send, like, you get a package, the driver will call you, where are you? Sometimes say, oh, I'm coming. The driver might even wait for you and stuff like that. In some companies do that, like maybe I think eBay or Amazon. I think if you order on those sites, they will actually call you. But there are some that don't call you and they will just return it back to their office. So you will just go and get it. So it's like things are somehow like really routinely done. So they expected that they would see you at your gate when they come, and they did not see you at the door, and then they will just send you a message. You have to go back to collect it with an ID card or something like that. People with disability, like people that are handicapped, the handicapped people, they get preferential treatment. I think it's really nice, to be honest, because I know in Nigeria sometimes you even get to pity people who probably have to use crutches or who use the wheelchair, because they are usually left out. You know, people who can walk will just overshadow them and pass them. But here, like, the people with any form of disability, they are actually giving like kind of priority treatment, which is really nice. Like, if you get on a bus, you're going to see the sign of priority seats. So the first 2 or 3 rows are priority seats. You're free to sit down there, but if someone that is handicapped is coming into the bus, you have to stand up. Even if there's no seats anywhere elsewhere, they're just going to stand up. So like that's pretty nice. So people who have like, who tend to use like wheelchairs, or mothers who are with these baby strollers, they don't suffer much because of their load, like their luggage, or the fact that they're driving something doesn't make them to suffer or put them at a disadvantage. In fact, they even get a preferential treatment, which is pretty nice. Final point I have here with me is eating on the road. So eating on the road is a thing here. I know in Nigeria, if someone catches you eating on the road, they'll be like, no, it's not classy. Like even on TikTok, Instagram, it's everywhere why you shouldn't eat on the road. It's not classy. Even if you buy corn that is a roadside food in Nigeria, like I'm eating, some people will be like looking at you, how about you eating corn on the road? You know, those kind of things. Like it's not classy, it's not elegant. As an elegant girl, you're not supposed to be doing this. But literally here, people eat on the road. People eat pizza on the road, they eat chicken and chips on the road, they drink on the road, like drink coffee, tea, drink. Like no one is looking at you like, oh, why are you eating on the road? You're this, you're that. Like literally nobody cares. That's how I see it. And you know, the kind of mentality they have, I feel like it's kind of different. So maybe because they might even be rushing for a job, like they might not even have another time, they might not have time, they might be short of time, that's why they were probably eating on the road, you get. But we in our country, in Nigeria, you know, you don't want to be eating on the road. I'm not saying like you should buy food and then be eating on the road, but sometimes you might be so hungry, like you're so famished, and then you got something, but because people will be like, why are you eating on the road, you will be so hungry, you won't be able to eat it. But here, like if you're so hungry and you like buy pizza or something, you eat it on the road and nobody's looking at you. If you're cold and you need tea, like you take it on the road. You're eating biscuits, whatever it is, like no one cares usually. So I mean, I think that's really beautiful, that you can just live your life and suit yourself and nobody's looking at you like, why are you doing this or why are you doing that. In my own opinion. Anyways guys, we've come to the end of the video. These are like some of the culture shocks that I've experienced so far. I know there are probably more, maybe I forgot to skip my mind. If you have more, you can also share with me in the comment section. And if you watched till this point, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed content like this. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, cheers.